Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Star Citizen. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen, for day 6 of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2950. So today is day 6, and the manufacturer here being presented today is Drake Interplanetary. Now, Drake doesn't have a lot of ships, but they feel like they have a lot of ships for some reason. But today, you guys know the drill, as always, just like the other days. Let's go ahead and have a look at the ships here at the main hall. Drake doesn't, as I said, doesn't have a lot of ships, so the side halls are completely empty. And then we'll go and have a look at some really cool ships that are still in concept at the display halls. So, as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me for a new day at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. This is day 6. So I will probably be covering every single day of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Of course, what I do in these videos, guys, if you haven't seen my previous videos on the IAE, I give my recommendations and my opinions on the various different spacecraft present here on display. Now, if you haven't subscribed already, please go ahead and subscribe if you like to see more, and leave a like if you like the content. And also, guys, if you're a subscriber, just remember to hit that notification button, because apparently only 8%, so just 8% of my subscribers actually get notifications when I post a video. So make sure, if you're a subscriber, you go ahead and hit that notification button. Alright, guys, so as usual, we're going to start with the largest, the biggest, the baddest ship here on the show floor first. Then we will go to the other stuff. So here is the biggest and the baddest Drake ship on display physically at the show floor at the IAE 2950. Now, I choose my words carefully, guys. I say here on physically in the show floor. There is another great ship down below that we will be looking at, which is still in concept on the display hall. Now, having said that, guys, so here is the Drake Caterpillar. Now, the Drake Caterpillar is extremely modular. Now, if you guys have subscribed to my channel, you'll see that I use the Drake Caterpillar extensively. So it is I do own one, by the way. I do own one. It is a extremely modular armored cargo transport ship, cargo transporting focused ship. It is a very cool ship. It is extremely modular. It is extremely customizable. The devs were talking about unveiling various different modules for the Caterpillar, so you can turn it into all the way from a large personal transport to various different things, so all sorts of things have been said about the Caterpillar. But what the coolest thing for me about the Drake Caterpillar is this part, the command module, basically the place where you fly the ship from, basically the bridge, can actually detach from the main body of the ship. So if you look here, there's like an airlock, kind of a door, double door, which you go in from the main ship to the bridge. So this bit can eventually detach. It's not in game yet. You cannot do that yet. You cannot detach yet. But eventually, this command module will be autonomous. It can leave the rest of the ship and come back as it pleases. So it has its own engine. So it's sort of like a mini. Actually, a larger, I shouldn't say mini, it's like a larger Drake Herald in that sense. Now, to go into the Caterpillar, you go through here, the cargo lift. Now, we're not going to do that. I have access to the Caterpillar. I own a Caterpillar, so if you guys want me to do a review on the Caterpillar, I'm more than happy to do that. In fact, I might have already done that very long time ago, like when 3.0 came out. But obviously, if you guys want me to, I can make a new video on the Drake Caterpillar. Now, it has the ability to carry 570 odd SCU, so 576, 75 standard cargo units in these various different modules. It is a very nice ship. It's a very, very nice cargo running ship, and as I said in the previous video, it is one of the most valuable ships to own right now inside of Star Citizen. It makes you a lot of money. It makes you a lot of money because it has a very decent cargo hold that you can use to trade. Now it also has some turrets on the bottom, on the top. The command module also has some weaponry, but obviously it's not a combat ship. Now, for my opinion, do I recommend the Drake Caterpillar? Yes, I can very, very confidently recommend the Drake Caterpillar to somebody who is interested in cargo running, who is interested in having a good medium-sized cargo hauler. So whenever I am talking about these ships, guys, I'm speaking about the ships in the future when they are released. At the moment, this is the top of the line cargo carriers, but it's not what it's going to be when the game is released. So this is going to be like a mid-tier armored cargo carrier. So yeah, I absolutely do recommend the Drake Caterpillar. It looks cool. It has a lot of functionality. It has a lot of potential for modularity and for change. So yes, I do recommend the Drake Caterpillar. I believe its price is $295 at the moment. It was a whole heck of a lot cheaper when it was still in concept a couple of years ago. But yeah, the price has gone up significantly, and I believe when the modularity for the ship and the ability for the command module to detach comes online, it's going to go up in price even further. So yes, I do recommend the Drake Caterpillar. Moving on from the Drake Caterpillar to the next biggest, baddest ship here on the show floor, and we go straight to the Cutlass Blue. So the Cutlass Blue was added in May, I believe, in May of this year at the Invictus shows, or just before Invictus. I did a whole video on this thing very, very recently, so I'm not going to go through the stats again, but this is a bounty hunting ship. This is a version of the Cutlass Black. The Cutlass Blue, I own one. I immediately bought one when it was first concepted back in 2014, I believe it was, or 15. So this is a bounty hunting version of the Drake Cutlass Black. So do I recommend the Cutlass Blue? Well, it depends. Are you into bounty hunting? Do you want to be a bounty hunter? Do you envision yourself playing as a bounty hunter? Because this thing is focused heavily, very, very heavily on bounty hunting. So as you guys can see, it has these stasis or capture pods. Basically, you capture a bounty or a criminal that has a bounty, and you place them in these pods here, these prisoner pods or stasis pods, to keep them sedated while you travel and take them to jail, basically. So the difference between this and the Cutlass Black, as far as what we know from back in the day of the concept sale, is that it has better engines. It's supposed to have stronger engines. It's supposed to have a little bit more armor protection, and that's about it. The weaponry is exactly the same as the Cutlass Black, exactly the same loadout for the weaponry. But do I recommend the Cutlass Blue? If you're into bounty hunting, yes. If you're into bounty hunting, this is a great ship. It also has the ability to stop a ship from using their quantum drive to jump away. So that's also a plus if you want to hold somebody before they run away, basically a bounty. So if you want to hold somebody, you activate the quantum drive dampening, and they cannot flee, basically. So yeah, if you're into bounty hunting, definitely this is at the moment the top of the line bounty hunter ship. Moving on, the Cutlass Black. The Cutlass Black is the original Cutlass. It is the first Cutlass that was in the game. Now, as I said, it's exactly the same as the Blue, but the Cutlass Black has more cargo space. so it has a lot more cargo space than the original, sorry, not the original, this is the original, than the Cutlass Blue and the Cutlass Red. So more cargo space, less specialization for the Cutlass Black. Now, do I recommend the Cutlass Black? 100%. 100%. If you're just a beginner player and you're looking for a medium-sized ship, a small, actually not a medium-sized ship, it's actually a large, small ship, in my opinion. That's what the Cutlass is. A very, very useful ship. A extremely useful ship. Very, very versatile, the Cutlass Black. And I cannot recommend this enough to anybody who just wants a daily driver. Now, I said this in my Nomad review, so if you guys haven't seen it, you can go check it out. My thoughts on the Nomad. I do own a Nomad, but as I said, the Cutlass Black is a much, much better Nomad. So if you're looking for a good ship that can run cargo, it has the ability to fight really, really well, it is really well armed, the Cutlass Black is the way to go. A very, very nice ship that I cannot recommend enough. Next, moving on to the Cutlass Red. The Cutlass Red is the version that I have the least amount of experience with. This is the medical version, so this is the ambulance version of the Cutlass. Again, using the same chassis as the Cutlass Black, but more specialization. Obviously, instead of the Cutlass Blue's stasis pods, the prisoner stasis pods, this thing has two hospital type beds. So it has these med bay stations pretty much, and at the moment the only medical gameplay that's in the game is you can use to set these beds as your respawn point. So if you die somewhere out in space, you will respawn back in here in the Cutlass Red. Now, obviously, that's going to change when the game is finally released to where you need somebody. so if you have a Cutlass Red, you need to bring somebody in here and either operate on them or fix them or allow the machine to scan them to see what the problems are. So that whole medical gameplay has not been added yet, but it is bound to be added later on. So the Cutlass Red, do I recommend the Cutlass Red? So at the moment, I don't know, a lot of players use the Cutlass Red for their FPS, so first-person shooter type gameplay. They use this to complement their first-person shooter type gameplay. In the verse, as I said, they use the bed as a respawn point. I don't think you should buy the Cutlass Red for that reason only. You should buy the Cutlass Red if you want to use it as an ambulance later on, whether that be for your own org, for your own friends, or to help others. Because there will be missions to say, hey, XYZ in the Cutlass Red, do you want to go help somebody at points XYZ, you know? So you'd be a first responder if you buy the Cutlass Red. If you want that kind of gameplay, you should buy the Cutlass Red, but just be aware that kind of gameplay is not implemented into Star Citizen yet. So it's a very, very specialized ship, so like I cannot just recommend it outright to say yes, absolutely go buy a Cutlass Red. It's very, very special. If you're into that kind of a paramedic kind of gameplay, buy the ship. If you're not into that kind of gameplay, then don't buy the ship. It's the same with the Cutlass Blue. Bounty hunting isn't in the game yet. It will be later. The first bits of bounty hunting are in the game, but at the moment you cannot utilize the whole features of the Cutlass Blue to its full extent for bounty hunting. Okay, so that's a lot of talking from me, guys, but I think I did a good job at giving you guys a full rundown of the various different Cutlasses and the Caterpillar. Now, moving on to the next biggest ship. It's the little Drake Herald. Now, I've been talking about the Drake Herald quite a bit recently in my videos. If you guys haven't seen my Mercury Star Runner video, I suggest you guys go check it out. But I compared the Mercury Star Runner to this little guy right here. Now, I'm going to spend some time explaining what I mean about the Drake Herald. Now, this is a ship that is greatly overlooked. It's greatly overlooked by the Star Citizen community, in my opinion, because its gameplay elements have not been added into the game. Therefore, people take it for granted. However, this little ship will be a very useful ship if you are into that data running / communication / hacking gameplay in the game. So this essentially does what the Mercury Star Runner does, or vice versa. The Mercury Star Runner does what the Drake Herald does. So this is the first ship in Star Citizen to be envisaged as a data runner, as a hacker kind of a ship. Now, as I said in my IAE Day 4 Crusade Industries video, the Drake Herald will be a better, in my opinion, a better data runner than the Mercury Star Runner. Okay, this ship will be better at specifically at an offensive kind of data running gameplay. What do I mean by that? The Drake Herald is a much smaller ship than the Mercury Star Runner. It has a much lower signature, both radar, EM, in every single way. This ship is stealthier than the Mercury Star Runner. Now, because it's stealthier, that means it can get closer. It can get closer to things, and it can, in my opinion, now from this point on, it's going to be speculation. So, in my opinion, this ship is going to be a lot more better at the offensive gameplay of hacking and data running and data interception and data theft. So if you want to intercept data being transmitted, and if you want to take it, in my opinion, this ship will be better. This ship will be better at hacking and data stealing, but the Mercury Star Runner has a bigger ability to store data. Obviously, it has more servers, it has more computers, so the Mercury Star Runner has bigger, it's like a bigger memory stick. It's like a bigger hard drive than the Drake Herald, but the Drake Herald, in my opinion, will be better at that kind of data running / hacking / communication offensive role. So this will be a more offensive ship in that manner. I own a Drake Herald, and I intend to keep it, because in my opinion this ship will be one of the funnest ships to fly. But however, again, I have to say that the data running / hacking / communication gameplay is not implemented into the game at the moment, so that's why people are overlooking the Drake Herald. Now, all of that being said, do I recommend the Drake Herald? Again, I cannot recommend this ship straight away, because it depends. Are you interested in that kind of a gameplay? Are you interested in data running? Are you interested in communications? Are you interested in e-warfare? Are you interested in hacking? If yes, then this ship, yes, I cannot recommend this ship enough. It is a very sneaky, small, fast. It's lightning fast. It's blisteringly fast ship. So yes, if you're interested in that kind of a gameplay, 100% go for the Drake Herald. You cannot go wrong with it. Alright guys, moving on from the Drake Herald to the other ship, the lovely little Buccaneer. So this is Drake's little small fighter. This is Drake's, let's just have a look. Drake Interplanetary Focus Interdiction. Now this thing is very quick. It is blisteringly fast, and it is really well armed. Not very well armored, but extremely well armed. It's very quick, as I said. It's very nimble. It's extremely fast in a straight line. Very fast in a straight line. Really nicely armed. So it has 2 size 1 guns on each wingtip. It can carry 2 size 3 fixed guns here in the inner pylons, and up the top you guys can see it can carry a size 4 fixed gun. Obviously you can drop the fixed weapons for a smaller sized gimbal weapon. And the ship overall looks really cool. It just looks like a very nice ship. It looks extremely cool. And of course it has the missiles as well. It has the ability to carry 4 size 2 missiles, or 2 size 3 missiles, or I believe it has the ability to carry 8 size 1 missiles. Now, as I said in my previous videos, I don't agree with that naming conventions for missiles. What is a size 1? It doesn't explain a lot to you what is the advantages of a size 1, what is the advantages of a size 3, so on and so forth. That naming convention has to change, and I'm going to be doing a video on that very, very soon to try and help the developers get rid of that naming convention, size 1, 3, 4, 5. That doesn't say much about the missiles. So the Drake Buccaneer. The Drake Buccaneer. Could I recommend this ship? Again, it's different. It's difficult to recommend it outright. Are you interested in fighting? Are you interested in dogfighting? Because this ship only does one thing, and it is dogfighting. And in my opinion, does it well. But however, it lacks armor. It's a very brittle ship, so you get hit a couple of times, you're going to take some serious damage. But it is a very fast, nimble fighter. So if you're interested in fighting, in dogfighting, this is a great ship. It's a great ship, and it's a cheap ship as well, like in terms of both in-game price and real-world money as well. It's a very cheap ship. It's, I think, $100 or $110, something like that, for its price. So a very good value for money ship, in my opinion. However, you can just remember, you can pick this up in the game as well very easily. Not a very expensive ship. But however, I do believe it lacks an ejection seat. I believe it does not have an ejection seat. So yeah, a great fighter. If you're interested in fighting, dogfighting, yeah, it's a good ship. If you're not interested just purely in that dogfighting kind of a thing, gameplay, then it's not the ship for you. Alright guys, so that's about it for all of the physical ships on the top floor. Let's go down to the bottom, display halls. So I think I did a good job at explaining the various different ships, and I gave you my honest opinions on the ships and what they do, and if I own them, if I don't own them. Because if somebody owns a ship, they're likely to like it. They're likely to think that it's worth it, rather than not owning it and just giving it praise for no reason. Now here is the Drake Dragonfly. Now again, if you guys have been a subscriber to my channel, you've seen that I used the Drake Dragonfly extensively. I still do. I have 2 Dragonflies, a black and the yellow jacket, so the yellow colored one. It came with a pack with the Caterpillar long time ago, probably like 5-6 years ago now. They sold a pack where you would get the Caterpillar and 2 Drake Dragonflies, so I still have those on my account. So this is a hover bike. So the Dragonflies, as you guys can see, they never touch the floor. They're hover bikes. Are they useful? Absolutely. One thing that's really cool, guys, you guys can see the components. Let me go ahead and put my helmet on so I can use the torch, but you guys can see the components on the ship. How absolutely cool is this? Just check it out. So this is a little cooler. This is that tiny shield generator that I showed you guys on day 1 of the IEE. Look at that tiny shield generator. So you'll be able to work on these little components later on when that kind of a repair gameplay is added to the game. So a very cool hover bike with really nice to see components, and CIG, you guys have done a fantastic job. I love that you guys have made these components visible from the outside like this. So yeah, a great hover bike. Now, do I recommend you guys go spend your real money on this hover bike? If you have to have one because it looks really cool, why not? But other than that, you can easily, very easily obtain this in game. It'll be a very cheap vehicle to earn in the game. So I cannot recommend you guys spend your real money on these ground vehicles. But again, if you like them and you want to own one, why not? Alright guys, so moving into the display halls, and here, behold the Kraken. So this is an amazing light carrier from Drake Interplanetary. So let's go ahead and read the description. So it says Drake, it's a tongue twister. Drake Kraken. So it says Focus Light Carrier. So it's a really cool ship that is still in concept. It's not out yet for the game. It's a really nice ship. It's a basically, as the description says, it's a light carrier. So I'm not sure if you guys can see that top bit. It's like a platform that can carry, I believe, 4 Buccaneer-size light fighters and 2 Cutlass Black-size ships. So basically, if you own this and if you own the rest of the Drake packs, you can basically travel in one package. You and your friends, you and your NPC crews can load up all your Drake ships and just travel on this as a group, as a pack, as an org. So it's a really nice ship. I like the aesthetics, I like the way it looks, and it also has 2 hangars here too, so these open up. So this is basically trying to parody a modern day aircraft carrier, where you have the top deck, the flight deck, and you have these hangars down below. A very cool ship, as I keep telling you guys. So it's a really nice ship. A lot of engines, a lot of different thrusters, a lot of turrets as well. I believe it has, if I'm not mistaken, as you guys can see, it has two size 6s. I'm honestly, I'm not going to say anything because I'm probably going to get it wrong, but it's really well armed in terms of turrets. So it is quite well protected in terms of the turrets, and what I remember from the turrets are that they are really hefty sized turrets too, so they're no joke. Now down the bottom you guys can see it has a cargo bay as well. Now it carries over 3,000 SCU of cargo too, the Kraken base variant. Now it also has a different variant called the Privateer. Now the Privateer, I believe, forgoes some of that cargo space to turn it into like a mobile traveling like a shopping mall kind of thing. It turns it into like you have the ability to turn the cargo hold into smaller shops, like smaller display areas, basically. If I'm getting this correctly. Now I don't know much about the Privateer, so I'm not going to say more, but it's more expensive than the Kraken. So how much is the Kraken right now? So the Kraken is obviously one of those limited capital ships. So at the moment the Kraken, I believe, is $1,500 or $1,400 something dollars. So probably the same price as an Idris. So probably the same price as an Idris, $1,400, $500 something dollars. Very expensive, extremely expensive. But also, you're getting a very large ship, a very useful ship in my opinion. And it's also extremely big, guys. So it is 200 meters in length and like 65 meters tall, and obviously very wide as well. So this is a capital class ship, a very cool capital class ship, but yeah, quite expensive as well, $1,500. The Privateer is even more expensive than the base Kraken. It is something like $1,700, $1,800, something like that. So, but yeah, you lose that cargo space if you go for the Privateer. But you gain the ability to, I think that's what they said, the ability to have smaller shops to sell stuff, sort of like a traveling kind of a merchant. So something like a much bigger Banu merchantman. So the Banu merchantman. Now the Banu is featured tomorrow on day 7, so we'll be looking at that as well. So the Privateer is kind of like a larger Banu merchantman. Now, what are some of the downfalls of the Kraken and the Privateer? Of course, they're very well armed with the turrets, and they also have fighters, the ability to launch these fighters to defend it. But in my opinion, these ships, these carriers, especially the Krakens, are going to be very easily destroyed in that they're not very well armored. I mean, this is Drake, right? Drake is not known for making super armored ships, so these ships, specifically the Krakens, are going to be very easily taken out by something larger, like by a Corvette-sized ship. So, for example, the upcoming super secret ship like the Perseus would be able to go through this, no problem. Absolutely no problem. Like a Polaris could take this out very easily with its missiles. So you can have one. It's really cool. It's a light carrier, blah blah blah. But just be careful. It is extremely vulnerable. It's extremely vulnerable. Yeah, you could say that about the other ships as well, like the Hull E. You can say that about the Endeavour. But this ship is more combat focused than those ships, so you're not likely to... I know I'm going on a rant here, guys. just bear with me. I know the video is getting a little bit long, but I think I need to say this. This ship is combat focused, right? The Kraken. So you're more likely to end up in harm's way than, like, let's say a Hull E or an Endeavour. So just be careful. Just because you carry a couple of fighters, it doesn't mean you're safe. I mean, imagine you come across a Perseus in this, or you come across a Polaris in this, or an Idris. I mean, it's kind of game over for the Kraken, in my opinion. So you got to be extremely careful where you take your Kraken once you have it and it's in game. So, having said that, do I recommend the Kraken? If you're just a player who has maybe like 1 or 2 friends who play Star Citizen, no. If you're a player that's in an org, or if you have an org yourself that has a lot of players, like 10 people and plus, so like more than 10 people in your org, or 20 people, yes, definitely this ship will be perfect for you. You can man the ship. You can probably afford to run the ship. Now, these large ships are going to cost a lot of money to run, so just think about that. Think about that too. The cost of docking, the cost of fuel, the cost of rearming and repairing, and just the cost of crew, NPC crew, real world crew kind of thing, like real players crewing your ship. So it's going to be costing a lot of money for you to run. Okay, so just think about that. So all in all, we got a massive lag spike there. So yeah, all in all, do I recommend the Carrack? It's very expensive. It's crazy expensive. $1,400, $500 is a lot of money for a digital ship in a video game. But yes, I do recommend the ship. I absolutely do recommend the ship because it is over the top cool in terms of its coolness factor, and it will be a very useful ship. So I do absolutely recommend the Carrack if you have a lot of friends in the game that can help you run the ship. So don't go buying this ship if you're just planning on playing by yourself in the game. Alright guys, moving on. So we spent a lot of time on the Kraken, but I believe it is well earned, very well deserved. Alright, so the next Drake ship here is the Drake Vulture. So it's light salvage. So this is the prospector for salvaging. So a really cool, really nice looking ship. I actually consider picking one up, but I do have a reclaimer, so I'm not sure how smart that is. It's valued at $140. It is basically, as I said, the prospector of salvage. So it is a beginning, it's a beginner salvage ship. It is designed for people who want to start in the salvage gameplay. Now, I have to say this, salvage is not in the game yet, but once it's in the game, I'm sure this ship is going to get implemented, and it will be a very profitable ship. So you guys know my opinions by now. All of the industrial ships are definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it to spend money on, especially something like this, a beginner industrial ship that's cheap, but at the same time it brings a lot of value in terms of making money for you in the game. So do I recommend the Drake Vulture? Yes, absolutely. I recommend the Drake Vulture, just like I recommended the Misk Prospector. So a really nice looking, cool beginner salvage ship. Moving on, guys, to another really cool Drake ship. So this is the Drake Corsair. This is the Drake Corsair, and it says focus exploration. Now, I already own a Carrack, so I don't need another ship for exploration, but I went ahead and got one of these anyway, because this thing is cool as heck. Just look at it. It's got the same eyes as the Kraken. It's got that same front profile as the Kraken, and check out those wings. Those wings are super cool. Like the way it's asymmetrical, and it's just cool. This ship is just cool, man. This ship just looks so good, and it will be a really useful medium tier ship. It will be like, so basically they say this is like comparable to the Constellation, but I reckon this thing is going to be better than the Constellation, in my opinion. Now this thing is armed to the teeth, guys. This thing is armed to the teeth, so it has like four size 4s just mounted on the front, 4 size 4 guns on the front, and it has turrets, these bolt turrets to the side. It has turrets on the back. It has automated turrets as well, and it has a really nice array of missiles too. So it has the ability to carry, I believe, 96 SCU of cargo at the moment. Now, however, all of that stuff, all of those soft stats are going to change, just like it did on the Mercury Star Runner. So I'm sure this will be a great ship. It's not implemented into the game, but I'm sure it will be a fantastic ship. Could I recommend the Drake Corsair? Well, the Drake Corsair costs $215 at the moment, and I can absolutely 100% recommend the Drake Corsair to anybody in the game. If you're in Star Citizen, if you like playing Star Citizen, you're going to love the Drake Corsair. Drake Corsair, absolutely a brilliant ship. It looks cool as heck, and it is useful. It's very useful, so I absolutely recommend the Drake Corsair to anybody. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching day 6. I believe it's day 6. Yes, day 6 of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. As always, guys, I highly appreciate your feedback, your views, your likes, your comments. Thank you so much for keeping me company on these videos, guys. Remember, if you like the video, to leave a like, and remember, if you like the video, to subscribe if you want to see more. And if you do subscribe, just remember, guys, to hit that notification button so you actually get a notification for when I upload a video. So as always, guys, thank you so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for day 7 of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo. Until then, take care, and bye-bye.